Hello, George. Hello, Kester. Just thought I'd show you this because George raised it. So I'm sitting here at the Kenworth dealer in Cedar Rapids. George, you're talking about heavy cargo packs and such. As you can see, this truck's base price is 200 grand. Okay, but this can't haul like the super heavy stuff. With the 510 horsepower motor and that kind of wheelbase and transmission setup, it doesn't have it. I'll show you what I mean, and this is what you need to look for if you want a truck that's capable. Now, bear in mind, all things come with a sacrifice. The more powerful the truck, the higher its torque value, etc., and longer its wheelbase, the harder it is to turn a maneuver, the more difficult it is to park, unless you're just driving straight into a parking spot at one of the truck stops. So, customized configuration. You have all of these options. Now, you won't have a lot of stuff that you see over here that I have because I have wheel tuning packs and, all that kind of stuff. So, what kind of cab we got on? We got a 76. 52. So here you can see it's not really optimized for heavy cargo. Optimized for super heavy cargo, well, that needs to be up here somewhere. But you will notice that it's not as easy hauling normal cargo, and the maneuverability, sometimes hill traversal suffers. So we can leave it at that for now. The chassis, 6x4 or 224. That gives a bit more maneuverability. Why? Because it's got a shorter wheelbase. Ever so slightly. Engine. Even that one's not so good. But I think where the thing is going to happen is with transmission. So, what happens if we go to an Eaton? Boom. Now you notice. Heavy cargo goes up. And these are the things that you have to be paying attention to when it comes to these trucks. This could probably haul most of the heavy cargoes. Okay, but I am going to undo all of this. See changes. And I don't want that actually. So cancel all modifications. You do that by pressing cancel or escape on your keyboard. And what else do they have? Now this is the big daddy. This one and this one. 600 horsepower, 86-inch studio. Means you can stand up in it. And each kind of setup. Now, this is a heavy hauler. Just as is. This is a heavy hauler. .600 horsepower. It's got even a more powerful one. Wow. But you look at this. The maneuverability is absolutely horrid. So it always comes in. See, just by not taking away one axle. Yeah, you can remove that. That's for the day cab. No place to sleep. That has a mid lift. That means the third wheel lifts up. Makes maneuvering a little bit easier. And now you get another big boy. Again, this is great for good for hill traversal, good for handling uneven terrain and heavy cargo, but maneuverability and normal cargo suffer because this truck is specifically more designed for heavy lifting. These are kind of cool, but even I don't drive them. I tend, but as you can see, just by different models, just by picking different things, you can get different kinds of setups. I can't remember. See how that one, the wheel lift up? Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't like any of those. I mean, I already have my truck, and it's working, but I wanted to show you that, there are things that you really need to be looking at for things. The other thing is, as I said, don't live your life in a day. Just focus on building up, your company. George, you said there's only one driver to hire. And those are base rates, $350 plus X amount of mile. That's a standard rate for a driver. Ones that are even different. And that's because you haven't discovered enough recruitment agencies. But you didn't know where those places were. But I told you. There are question marks on your world map. And even you can see it on the GPS inside your truck when you're driving. You can see question marks. Those are recruitment agencies or dealerships. And as you get more dealerships and recruitment agencies discovered, you end up with more dealerships to pick from, types of trucks. As you know, I own a Mack, I own an International, I own a Western Star, I own this Kenworth. But I've also discovered a lot of things. I'm going to leave the dealership for now. And I will focus more on my company. So if you look, I gave you a map view. I have 34 garages located in basically one in every state. These are what my garages are. Most of them are large, which means they also have fuel pumps at them, which is saves you a few cents. If it's got a crown, that means that's your home. My home is Amarillo, Texas. Why, I don't know. And then if you look at trucks, these are where my drivers are and everything else. But if I go to table view, I own over 137 trucks. My company owns 76 trailers. And I have 133 drivers. That includes myself. And as you can see, because I've discovered I've been driving for years, these were question marks at one point. Now they're these. And I can just pick, hire a driver. And as you see, I have pages and pages of them. This is standard. And one other thing I want to show you, and this comes to driver manager. I'll just pick a driver. So a lot of mine are obviously 10.0 already. There is a training policy. The thing is, you got to remember to change it at some point. For your own personal driver, okay, what you want to focus on is long distance, and that builds up this, and that means it increases the amount of time you can drive per day. That'll allow you to take jobs that are further away, pay more money, and then you want to put it probably back on balanced. And that fills in 1 square each time you earn enough XP. It loads it out. I don't know what the number is. But you can, these pay more than others. High value cargo, fragile cargo, and just in time kind of thing. But when you're hiring a new driver, when you get to that point, I don't recommend doing it at this point in time. Just leave them on balanced and try and find one that's got a couple of, like a square in this, maybe a square in that, and might have 1 or 2 squares here. But they level up fairly quickly, so you can always hire them and just leave them on balanced. That prevents them from taking jobs that are too far away. And they don't have the ability to haul any of these other kinds of cargoes. So if they're in a town, they did a drop-off, that's cool. But now they can't find a cargo, which means they got to drive all the way back to your garage. And you end up having to pay for their fuel and expenses. And they contributed nothing on the return trip. That's not good. So I built her up to, I think it was 2 squares of long distance, and then I switched her training profile back to balance. I hope that helps you both. There's a lot of depth to this. Like, it's not, and you can buy garages that these are garages that are on the map. I could buy this one right now if I wanted to. Actually, I could probably buy almost all the ones that are every map in Texas. As you can see, I own 4 or 5 in Texas alone. I only have 2 in California because I don't like driving in California. Sorry, George. I hate $5 a gallon gasoline. But there you go. I might get another one up in Montana, sort of maybe in Billings or something. And Kansas, I don't know, Salina. I might put one in Topeka, that way I've got balance. I try to space them so I don't have them too close to a garage I already have. Farmington, huh. Yeah. So anyway, but there you go. And if you ever want to know what some of the stuff on your map looks like, let me zoom out here. So obviously you're seeing all kinds of stuff. Click this square, Map Legend. And this tells you everything you need to know. So recruitment agencies. I've discovered a lot of them. Service centers, truck dealerships. They only show up like that if you've already discovered them. They won't show you. Well, there's a recruitment agency. And resting places. That's typically what I have on here. Service, recruitment. I don't usually show recruitment agencies. I don't care about it for now. Truck dealers I do sometimes, but most times I just want resting places and service and fuel stops. That's what I really care about for now. I don't mess with this stuff, and I don't mess with this. And cities you've been to, obviously show up in yellow. Like the name is in yellow. Oh, I know why. I turned off city names. unexplored city. Oh yeah, you can also have it show you where all the toll gates are and the wait stations. But you can set it up however you want. There we go. So as you see, I've been to every city. There's one I haven't. Poplar Bluffs. Poplar Bluff. Trying to find a job to go to here. I could just drive through it. And then it would change to yellow. Then as you can see from the map, I have been to every single city that's modeled in the sim. For all the states that are available at present. Except Poplar Bluff. Anyway, I hope that helps. And I hope you both have a great weekend. I'm off to do a delivery. You take care now. We'll see you again soon. Hello, Discord members. How are you all doing? So this is more to help George in that and Kitster. Steering. So as you can see, I got a really long load. This is actually kind of interesting because I'm at a Kenworth dealer and I own a Kenworth and I'm hauling Kenworths and I'm going to be hauling them to a Kenworth dealer. So steering. With the sim, you've got to slow down just like truckers do for turning. Even with a short load, because the power steering will fight you if you try turning it too tight. So as you can see, I am taking this way wide.
Turn right.
And I'm sure, both of you drive. You have seen where truckers will go into I've seen them like on a 2-lane sort of road, like in the city, and it has a left turn lane. They literally will go partially into the left turn lane to make a right turn.
Go straight on.
So the other thing is to make small corrections.
Keep right.
You barely need to move the stick. It depends on linearity. You saw the setting in the screenshots, if you will. The other thing is smooth braking.
And then turn right.
So I'm going to be taking this kind of wide. And I'm definitely going to be blocking part of this road to get onto, I believe we're going on the highway. As you can see, I am in Cedar Rapids, Iowa? I'm not American. Hang on here. I'm going to redo the video in a second here. Sorry about that. Mother Nature always seems to call right when I start. So, in options for steering, by default it sets the settings quite often a bit too sensitive and wacky. So I know, Kisser, you're kind of like me, that you really like doing how do you want to put it, realism, like we want real. But the problem is when you're first learning something, that's not really functional. So my steering axis dead zone is at 12. Brake access at 10. Clutch and all that, it's not really useful for it. And then, I didn't want to do that. Keys and buttons, as I said, you've got so many different options. It does tell you what each one does in the top right corner. So, lane keeping assistant, there's actually a way to have it on and not be bothering with that, like having to turn it on, turn it off. And I don't even unassign. Unassign. This is how you get yourself in trouble, having double things. Also, those are partially my recording, how I do it. So you can set all this kind of stuff. That's the up-down arrow keys. I use that for my Windows. Route advisor and navigation mode, left, right. That is for the info unit kind of thing, if you will. Camera controls, I don't think I've ever changed those. And I don't care about the cameras. I never use them. Now, why do I keep doing that? I just need to go to the bottom menu again. Settings, those are going to be for, however you wish it. Gameplay. This can really help you when you're first starting out, okay? Turn these off. This is what forces you to have to sleep. Kit, I can already hear you, and I know what you're exactly what you're thinking. That's not. I agree. It's not. But when you're first learning, okay, traffic offenses. That's like if you hit someone, it goes. You don't get fined. If you speed a bit, it doesn't go down. Parking difficulty. You can just set it to automatically do things. You can control the amount of rain probability. It's been raining too much for me lately. Detours, that's if there's like stuff. This is where you control the truck's physics. So, blind spot sensor I've got on, automatic engine, electricity start, all these kinds of things. I don't do the automatic parking brake. You can just click the key that it does. Trailer, you can. Advanced trailer coupling, you've got to be dead center with the pin and your fifth wheel. I have that off. It's kind of, yeah. This is where you control your interface. You can change it. But the controls, this is where your steering sensitivity and nonlinearity is. I have mine down a bit, and that is because quite often it is harder with the joystick. You can mess around with this. Now, if you look at nonlinearity, adjusting the value higher means the steering will be less responsive when the wheel is at center, and increases as the wheel is turned towards maximum. This helps when you're driving straight to keep it in. I use steering 752 and 0.52 and 17. I do not use reset. Force feedback. It's annoying. And these, I think I left mostly default, if I recall. Understeer, that's what happens when you're going too quick. It'll slip and you going, why won't you turn? And here my dead zones and all that are all set here. I use like 12, 10. Don't forget my controller is a bit older. And that should help. So, here we go. Now let's see what my settings are like in action. Don't make me have to reload this, please. This load I can't do anything. Did they have a crash up there? They did. Ah, that's what happens. World map. See if that helps. It does not. I don't want to have to quit and restart it. We will. I'm going to have a bunch of splicing to do. Okay, we cleared
here
that
we
up.
go.
So, sorry for the mishmash and all
Get
that.
ready
I'm
to
not
turn
really
right.
good at this, like doing tutorials kind of stuff. But here we go.
Turn
I am
right.
going to encroach on him a bit. Okay, I can go. So here's what I'm going to do. So for something like this, I'm going to go here and I'm going really slow. And now, hard crank it. And that almost came straight in. I let the wheel go back naturally to its center position. And I'm making very small adjustments on my stick. Like, I'm probably moving it like not even a quarter inch, really. And what I find helps, Kit, is I keep my thumb in the indent that's in like the center of the controller on an Xbox. And I sort of use where my first joint is on the joint on your thumb. I have that resting in there. And I use that to make small adjustments. And yeah, it could get a little herky-jerky in that. The other thing is, pay attention to the road signs. It'll tell you if there's going to be construction coming up or something.
Keep right, and then turn right.
So, as you see, I am taking up no part because we have the room on here.
Turn right.
But you notice I have slowed down big time.
Keep right.
And very small adjustments. And it works. I use my mirrors all the time. And I put on my turn signal early. And over we go. Now, and you see, I'm just doing little sort of adjustments. Now I'm anticipating I have to
Keep
get over.
left.
Buddy, I had my signal on earlier than you. I think I may have clipped him with the last truck. The other thing is, I never drive at what the speed limit is. Just because it's 80. I'm not driving at 80. And in real life, I don't believe trucks are allowed to go that anyway. Not even on the Autobahn in Germany. You know, speed limit is 70, minimum is 40. I like to stick around 60, 65. And just let everybody else do their thing. That's fine. The other thing is, when you get the chance, external contracts are the way to go. Because the time that you see there, that is real time. You have 22 minutes or 22 hours in real life to finish this trip, if you will. Like you see with mine, it said 4 hours and 19 minutes. You look at the GPS sort of thing there, it's going to take 32 hours to drive this. So how are you supposed to do that? But because that is the real time, in real life. So I literally could go and make a sandwich right now. And that would still say 32 hours, 3 minutes, what have you, to finish the trip. But the amount of time in real life would have dropped down. But with steering kit, it is small little things. Just slightly move the stick. And you'll feel it. Because it's magnified, it seems, when you're at speed. And if you've ever looked at, or you can ask your brother, or cousin, sorry, or twin. My apologies to your twin. I am sure he will tell you, I never move the wheel when I'm on the highway more than maybe an inch or two to get around a curve sort of like this. It's like I barely touch it. And it, comes along. Vehicle inspections. Again, you'll see I am slowing down early. I don't care what the cars think. This is a heavy truck. This load alone is almost 80,000 pounds of just trucks, not including mine. That's that lane assist thing.
Rerouting.
You don't need to reroute.
Go straight on.
I also just let gravity and time, road resistance, slow me down, as opposed to having to hammer brakes and all
Keep
that.
left.
Is another tip I will give you. Anticipate. It's like you can see on the map, you're going on an off-ramp. Well, you know what? Take the cruise control off and just coast. My vehicle's in perfect condition. It's because the tires have some wear on it. I'm not buying a new set of tires every time I do a trip. I'll show you what I mean. I'll go to F6 and I'll show you my truck is in good shape. F6 and F7. Again with the turn signal. Luckily we got no one coming along. I am not getting off at Minneapolis, so let's just move over now. We got the opening. As you see, just a small little change. Council Bluffs, I still have, that is the only city I have not visited yet.
Keep right.
And that, I'm glad she said something. Do not take for granted what the GPS says. Okay? I've heard her say turn left, like, and keep right. And it's like, no, I was supposed to get off right. Totally. Not keep left.
Keep left.
And we'll stay here. The other thing, if you see an on-ramp, anticipate they're going to cut you off. Okay, because when they reach the end of like the run-on, like when you come up the ramp and then you're going down, it comes to an end after like 100 yards or whatever. They're going to move across whether you're coming along or not. Like here, if I saw a car was coming off, I would have been in the other lane. Anticipate that. And if you see there's going to be construction up ahead, off with the gas pedal. And just start letting, the tire resistance on the asphalt start to slow you down slightly. In anticipation that people are going to want to be cutting in front. It's all about it. It's just like driving in real life. It's like you've got to anticipate what some of these idiots are going to do. And sometimes they just crash into you, period. It's like they can see perfectly well that you're there, but they still come across or whatever anyway. But you see, I'm going around this much tighter turn. I haven't moved the wheel more than an inch.
Keep right, and then turn right.
And I'm just going to stay in this lane.
Turn right.
Because the right lane ends anyway, so why move? Turn signal on early. And the speed limit's 65. I'm fine doing 60, thank you. And over I go, because I know I'm going further down. And I'm going to be staying on this highway for a while. I think this is, I can't remember, is this 40 or 80? And I'm going to get over into this lane. And why am I doing that? Because I know there'll be a truck possibly coming out. And that is where a lot of the accidents happen, because these trucks come out and cars kind of give them a break. And then it's like, it seems like the car decides to change its mind. And then you get a backup. And if you're still just bobbing along 60 miles an hour, you're going to end up crashing right into them. Because guaranteed, when you need to get into the left lane quickly to avoid some, you can almost guarantee there's going to be a car beside you. So again, read the map, anticipate while you're driving. And hopefully that helps. Now, I have a 32-hour 1,800, 1,900 mile journey to do, because I'm going up into somewhere in Washington State, northern Washington State, something like that. Anyways, I hope that helps, Kit and George. Do turn off fatigue, which is the sleeping thing. Oh, I got to turn mine back on. I turned it off just to show you where it was. Options. And that is under gameplay. And there we go. And I'm going to put those back on. That's for me. And I am quite happy at 60 miles an hour. I've got a 10 mile an hour buffer, which is fine. Other thing is, I like to use hills to gain some speed. Like, I'll take the cruise control off if this was a bit more. And if I saw it go up to 62 or 63, I'll take the cruise control off and then put it back on. Saves me gas, I gain speed, get a higher cruise speed in the cruise control, and I didn't have to waste any gas because the truck is in idle. And the other thing is, when you see question marks on the map, and it's along your way, even if it means you go off, you know, like off the highway just for a second, and you look and you go, you know what, I could drive past that, make a circle, and come back, and then get back on the highway. And that's how you unlock the dealerships and recruitment agencies. And George, that is a typical rate I showed you in the previous video for all the drivers. They start around $360 a day plus mileage. I'm at 60, so I don't really have to slow down. And as you see, that's a fairly tight turn, and I barely moved my steering wheel. At slow speed, when you're in the city, take corners slowly. I don't like to be over about 10, 11 miles an hour when I take corners. If I have a load of any kind. Otherwise, the steering just seems to not be as responsive. I don't know if that's how it is in real life. Your twin would be able to answer that. Anyway, there's some more tips for you. I've had a really, really busy week, not including the tutorials. I just a lot of doctor appointments and got an X-ray done, an ultrasound, and all that. Sort of like a fall checkup kind of thing. And I just picked my line. I know I'm staying on here. Okay, I can tell I'm going to be going right in a minute.
Keep left.
See, he didn't want to let me in. Oh, crap. Okay, that's my bad. I thought because there was 2 lanes I would be going. Okay. Anyway, so I'll be on and off during the weekend. I got to get back in one of the planes before I forget how to fly. I think for my next flight video, we will do GA. I can't drive with the GPS in that one. 58's good enough. I'm going to be having a crossover bridge coming up. There.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Keep left, turn left.
Turn right.
That's wrong. See what I'm saying? Keep left. No. I want to go right. Right lane ends, I'm staying right here. Like I said, it's all about anticipation. Now I've got the cruise control off, I'll just let it pick up a mile or two going down the hill, and then I put it back on. I hate driving on this concrete. Really hard to see the lines sometimes. Anyways, I hope those all help you. I hope both of you all have a great weekend. Say hi to your other halves and family and that. Give them my best. Stay safe. Be kind. And, keep the blue side up. And I'll see you in the rail, the roads, and the skies. Take care. God bless. Here we go to Washington. Whee!